So I'm Dave Feldman. I actually got into cholesterol research somewhat surprisingly because I actually really didn't have any interest in it because I came up as a software developer. But I went on a ketogenic diet and I saw my cholesterol go way up. Then I started finding out that actually I can manipulate it quite a bit. So I became kind of a bit of a biohacker. Put in a lot of work into seeing what I could do to change these numbers around. Well, certainly the biggest struggle that I've had to deal with was my cholesterol numbers going up. One that I haven't talked about a lot is I've also had some issues with electrolytes, trying to kind of dial in the right amount of electrolytes. And ultimately I found that I just need a lot more salt. So certainly see Steve Finney on that because he made me feel a little more comfortable with going ahead and rolling with it. And that's what I've done. So I've been a lot happier with my electrolytes since. I've liked the drink that was offered from Sated in its previous form, which was like Ketolant for actually experiments. I used it as kind of a control because when I was having just one kind of meal replacement, I could then do things like carb swapping so that I could actually see what the differences were. So I guess in a way I can only speak to my appreciation that I was able to do something with research associated with it, but that was kind of more for me personally. It's clearly one of the things I most like about being on a ketogenic diet because I don't feel like I need to eat all the time. It's something I really enjoy. My hope is the future of keto is that it just gets a lot more widespread acceptance when done properly. I mean, the key is for a lot of people to recognize what health markers to really watch for, but it's been such a great solution for so many people, particularly those people struggling with obesity and type 2 diabetes. Certainly one of the three major takeaways, first one being that there are some people on a ketogenic diet who see their cholesterol numbers go up substantially. And oftentimes, somewhat counterintuitively, they'll be lean and or athletic. And it turns out that actually they have incredible markers across the board, save this one thing that they're concerned about with high LDL. Now, another thing that I would say to take away is that there's plenty of reason to believe there's actually a mechanistic process for which it makes sense that you're actually shuttling around fatty acids to fuel your body when you're on a ketogenic diet. And lean mass hyperresponders are helping us to understand why. I think thirdly, I really think there really needs to be a lot more research put into place to help us really determine the exact effects of this diet long term. I think both critics and friends of the diet alike would like to have that longer term data, and that's why I'm happy for companies like Virta that are making that charge right now. You know, I'm kind of straightforward in that I like a lot of eggs and red meat. I have a lot of scrambled eggs, I have a lot of hard-boiled eggs, and I like a lot of burgers and I like a lot of steaks. As a bit of a biohacker, I certainly like to do a lot of different experiments, and I like to do just about anything that could affect the lipid system in particular. If you follow me and you follow the extraordinary degrees I've gone with my experiments, you'd have to know that I have a wonderful wife because she really puts up with a lot of the things I do. In fact, this most recent experiment, I actually intentionally gained weight, fat, not muscle, in order to test what it would do to the lipids before now going back to losing the fat. So thank you, honey, for supporting this research.